All right, so here's 2 quick tips to have your pain relief exercises have an immediate, more profound impact on your pain. So the 2 tips that I have to give to you are: 1, do it more frequently, and 2, do it with intention. So let's go ahead and break that down. For some of you guys that are following me on Instagram at Flex with Dr. J, or you're in my Facebook group and you've seen a lot of my exercises, or maybe you've learned exercises from Instagram and YouTube or Google or many other places, a lot of times what will happen is we'll do a certain exercise, we'll do it a few times, whether that's 10 repetitions, we'll hold a stretch for 30 seconds, and we find that it's not getting the results that we want. One huge mistake that people make is that they do it one time, they do the recommended sets, 3 sets of 10, 2 sets of 30-second stretching, and if it gets them results, it's great, it's a great reward, and they may do it again, but many a times is that when it's not working the first time around is we immediately give up on it. And I can't express to you enough how big of a mistake that is, that you're not continuing to either trial and error or you don't do it frequently enough through the day. So I've told my clients in the Pain Free Academy many times before that there's a balance between relievers and triggers. So if you kind of know in your life that, my neck starts to flare up when I'm sitting and texting on the phone, or my pain definitely flares up when I'm sitting in the car for more than 30 minutes. Well, those are your triggers. You kind of know what your triggers are. What triggers my headaches? What triggers my low back pain? And then you might know a few things in regards to relievers. And I always stress towards the more natural relievers, like meditating, breathing, exercising, going out for a walk. I don't really go for the relievers as much as just like creams, pain medication. Nothing wrong with any of those inherently, but you understand that some of them are going to kind of lead to more long-term benefit instead of short-term benefit. But let's go ahead and go again to triggers versus relievers. So if you know what your triggers are, if you're triggering your pain a lot more than you're relieving your pain, then the triggers are going to win, right? So if you sit for 8 hours, but sitting for just an hour causes your pain, then you're triggering your pain at least 8 times over. But you got to realize that it's kind of a scale. If you're triggering your pain a ton, but you're not relieving it enough, then what's going to win every single day? What's going to win every single week, or potentially for months and years on end? So just think about that. So the first rule is do things more frequently. If you know that something gave you even a minor sense of relief, even if it was like 0.5 on the 10 scale, or even if it's like a 1 out of 10 on that pain scale, try to do it more frequently. If you do things more frequently, then you may actually start to notice it has an accumulated effect. It's math, right? If you do something 1 time a day, as far as from a stretch or an exercise standpoint, and you do it 8 times a day, which one's going to be better? 8 times a day or 1 time a day? So just think of like the balance of triggers versus relievers. That's my first tip for you. Number 2, do things with more intention. So it's kind of hard sometimes when you're watching my video and you're not getting the cueing, you're not knowing exactly how often to do it. You don't have anybody to kind of correct you, but you should still try to do things with more intention regardless. If you need somebody to help you with that, that's definitely where we can come in. But if you're trying to do some sort of strength exercise and the goal is to strengthen your glutes, well, make sure you're really squeezing your glutes. Don't just go through the motions or try to rush it and try to do the 10 repetitions as fast as possible. Make sure you really feel it, right? There's something called isometrics, which is when you do a bridge, and your feet are flat down and you're lifting your butt up and you're squeezing your glutes, really squeeze it, okay? Breathe, brace your abs, and squeeze the death out of your glutes, because you're only going to get stronger the more stress that you apply to your body. Okay, so if my goal was to get bigger biceps, and I know we're going away from pain relief, but if my goal was to really get really big biceps or to really strengthen my bicep and strengthen my ability to lift more things, I can't just go through the motions like this. I really got to squeeze, right? You really got to squeeze the muscle and develop that mind-muscle connection, okay? And make every repetition count. Now, while that might lead to a little bit more soreness, it might be harder to do, if you're going through a stretch, if you're really going through like a rotation stretch like this, really reach. But as you do things with more intention, you will start to notice more permanent results, okay? So number 1 is move more frequently, do things with more frequency. Number 2 is do it with absolute intention. So if you found this helpful, okay, go ahead and just comment below. Let me know if you found this helpful. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for more tips, strategies, and exercises to take control of your pain and be the best version of you imaginable. See you soon.